All right, guys, welcome to our team call. It is October 5th. I'm kind of glad this year is flying by, quite honestly. I know this year has been a test to many, many people. And although I'm definitely someone who always tries to find the silver lining in everything, this has been tough. This has been tough. I am a people person. I thrive on connecting with people, whether it is for sip and samples, sweat and samples, business trainings, our big events. So for me, that part of it has been the hardest piece of it. But I'm so grateful for technology. I'm so grateful that we knew Zoom before this happened. Aren't you guys? That we already knew how to do all of this before we had to, because so many people didn't, and they were forced into this. So tonight, what I'm excited about is, first of all, we'll do some announcements. We've talked about the seasonal catalog coming October 27th. Some of you are in some other team pages, and I think there's been a little leakage going on about products. There is one new seasonal shake coming and one new dairy-free shake coming. There is a new bar coming. I have not heard any at all peeps about that, about the bar, but there's going to be some bundling for some new products and some gifts. So I'm really excited for that. We'll have that coming. I'm sure they're going to do a big Isagenix live on it. So that'll be huge. So get yourselves ready. So when the end of the month hits, you are ready to go with that. And I always like to send messages to people. I do an email. If you don't get my team emails, send me your email address and let's make sure you get them, because I always send out new emails whenever new products come out, with announcements and all of that. So if you are not in the loop on that and you'd like them, you can then take my email and copy paste it, tweak it, make it your own, and send it to your people. That is absolutely cool with me. You're always welcome and never need to ask my permission to share what I'm sending to you guys. So if that will help you and you're not getting my emails, just shoot me your email. All right, the catalog is October 27th. I think I saw the message in the chat. So that'll be at the very end of the month. All right, ISA Academy is October 17th. And I know there's a lot of little events going on, and I know there's going to be some Zoom events going on. Just make sure you're plugged into something. Don't stay home and watch it alone. If you're home alone, make sure you're watching it via Zoom with a group, because there's going to be a lot of excitement, and it really is helpful to do this together with people. And like I said, the live events is what we're really missing here, that sense of community. So be sure that you're Zooming with your team and you're inviting them and you're doing this together in community if you're not gathering a small group together. But if you can handle the small group, get it together. I'm planning on having something here locally, for as many people as we're able to have. So that tends to change these days. Every week it's a little bit different, but as many people as we're allowed we'll be having. Two things I'm going to share with you guys. Don't have dates yet, but I'll let you know as soon as possible. We're going to start implementing Work It calls together, where we do a Zoom meeting like this, and then we work on our Penny app together. And we're going to do some opportunity calls for the team. So if you are, have some new people maybe on your teams that aren't comfortable sharing the opportunity yet, we're going to use the slides and the scripts, and we're going to do it for the team. So we're getting our act together, trying to get some dates together. It'll start pretty soon here, hopefully in the next week or two, but we're going to be opening that up for the whole team to really try to help everybody have a really great fall and kick off 2021 being in the right place. Because you guys know PK Smith, he'll be a guest on our call soon. He always talks about that 90-day echo, and what we're doing now is going to impact our business in 90 days. So if you're not happy with what you're seeing right now and your results, it's probably because what you were doing 90 days ago wasn't enough. And so sometimes we just need to really revisit that and up our reach outs and invites and all of that. All right, so I am going to share my screen with you guys and get into this meeting. I'll preface this by, most of you that follow me know I just finished a 200-hour yoga certification. And this was one of my silver linings through this whole COVID thing. I brought my daughter to her first yoga class several years ago. At college, she went on to get certified, and she's just become an unbelievable teacher. It's her gifting. She is so good. I know many of you know her and have had conversations with her, have taken her yoga classes even online. She's really gifted, and she is now becoming a teacher of teachers. So I was one of the first classes that she got to actually teach. My daughter Jenna did it with us. Tyler's girlfriend Zoe did it with us. And it was just an absolutely incredible experience. And I'm actually continuing on and doing more training with her now. But what they taught us is something called invitational yoga. So even if you're not a yoga person and you've never taken a yoga class in your life, you're still going to understand this concept. And I wanted Katie to be on the call live with us tonight to explain this so then I could move into the training. And then I'm going to be bringing on a special guest at the end of the call here. Because no one can explain it as good as she can. I could have tried to explain this, but not as good as her. And she couldn't be on live. So I actually did a quick interview with her this morning. It's just a couple minutes long. I'm going to share that with you first. So let me share my screen here. While I'm waiting, everybody give it up for Susan Wheeler. It's her 58th birthday today. So wish her a happy birthday in the chat group. All right. And let me make this big. Oh dear, where'd it go? Ah. Okay, I'm having trouble. Let me see here. Let me stop the share. Gotta love technology.
We could see it. It looked like you just need to hit play.
I know, but it's so small. I'm trying to make it big. Let's see.
It was big.
It was big?
Mm-hmm.
So hey guys, this is my daughter Katie, and she not only has been doing yoga for many years, became a certified instructor in college, but now she is teaching teachers like me to become yoga instructors. And for tonight's meeting and training, I really wanted Katie to share with you what invitational yoga is, because I have a lesson that's going to tie into that. So Katie, if you could just share with everyone, during our 200-hour training, we talked a lot about permissive yoga and, invitational yoga. Explain to everybody, what does that mean?
Mm-hmm. So in the practice of yoga, there's the teacher, there's the guru, as it's called in yoga in India. And when you have a yoga teacher or you're studying from a guru in anything, your teacher is in a natural position of power. And it's very easy, because we're humans, to start tying our ego into what we're teaching. It's very easy as a yoga teacher to kind of lose sight of the fact that there are humans, there are people with hearts and souls coming into your class, and they're not just bodies. And a lot of yoga teachers have really gotten in a lot of trouble, as they should have, for taking advantage of their students, not honoring their bodies, not honoring their space. And we switch that narrative in permission-based yoga by eliminating the ego on behalf of the teacher and honoring that me as the teacher, I don't know anything. I didn't create yoga. I'm just passing on and channeling these teachings and empowering my students to use them as they will and as they need to. So in permission-based yoga, it's no longer me telling you what pose to do and you doing it because I told you so. It's me giving you options that might help you to become aware of something in your own self. It's me empowering you to make choices in your practice that then maybe gives you that power that you can take off of your mat to be more empowered and more of a co-creator of your own life. And that's just something that we start to teach in permission-based yoga.
Fabulous. Well, thank you for sharing that, Katie, because I could not have done near as well explaining that. And that's such a great preset to what I want to train on tonight. So thank you for being with us.
You're welcome.
All right. So you got to see my girl in California. All right. And now there's more people wanting to get in. So let me let them in. Okay. So the reason I shared that, I hope while you were listening to Katie share that, you were thinking, how does this pertain to my business and what we're doing? And I want you to think about the leaders that you look up to within Isagenix. How do they lead their teams? Do they have big egos? most leaders that I know that are really thriving in Isogenics are not ego people at all. They are people of service. They are people who are all in to how can I serve you? How can I help you? How can I make things better for you? And so ego is really taken out of the picture. So I loved that correlation. And the other thing that Katie said is, when you're a yoga teacher, when you're a leader in Isogenics, you do have a sense of power. You carry influence over other people. People look up to you. So not only do we want to be someone of service and really be helping our people, but we also want to empower them. And from what I have seen in the people I've coached and watched grow their business and the people that are truly successful, the people that don't have ego don't have to be the one always in control and always in charge and the expert on everything. The people that can say, like Katie said, I don't know anything about yoga. She really does, but she was so humble when she said that. And that's how we have to be as leaders. Not that we don't know anything, you guys, but that we're still students. How many of us still do their personal development every day? I teach personal development, still do it every day, you guys. I know Isogenics, but I still am a student. I still take notes. I get on these calls. I put my camera on. I show respect to whatever trainer there is. I have a pen in my hand. I've told you guys my little trick that sometimes I even show my pen just so they know I'm taking notes because I want them to know how appreciative I am of their time. So I'll just go, like bring my little thing, my little pen up there just so they see, because I'm always a student. And, as a leader, we really want to empower our people to step into their leadership. And how we can do that, so many different ways, you guys. And I'm going to be sharing with you a story that is one of my favorite stories. And I'm going to bring her on. So Valerie Gerber, many of you guys know who she is, my next door neighbor. She was my U-Share, very first one. She came with me when I told her I was signing up to do Isogenics, when I told her I was leaving my business of 10 years, letting it roll up to my sponsor, and I was going to do something else. I had one business left in me, and I was going to do this last thing, and it was around health and wellness. Even though I would venture to say she didn't consider herself a health and wellness guru. We don't share a lot of the similarities with fitness and working out. She likes to do it, doesn't have a whole lot of time, but she was like, I'm all in, I'm going with you. She actually took a day off of work to go with me when I was meeting with I got online, I found someone to enroll under, and I met her and drove an hour and a half, and Val went with me. And I have watched Val. And for those of you that really know her, you're going to appreciate the story. And for those of you that don't, I just want to share this with you because her story is so relatable to most every single person on this call. I remember in the beginning, she used to say, slow and steady wins the race. She had a full-time job. She had, at that point, all 3 kids at home. She wasn't a grandma yet. Very, very busy. And she just fit this in the pockets of her life. And there were times she was incredibly discouraged because she would see people come on, and before long, they'd be out enrolling her, out cycling her, out rank advancing her, and out earning her. And there was some setbacks along the road and disappointments for sure. But what she never lost sight of was her belief in Isogenics never wavered, never. If she heard any rumblings of, people being upset or something changing, she stayed in her lane and she stayed focused, and she never lost her belief. That never wavered. Her belief in herself may have wavered a little bit over the years, but she always knew that this could be her retirement, that this could be something she could do full time, and she never quit. And guys, it's been 8 years, and I've watched her grow from someone that, we're next door neighbors, and we would do meetings together, like opportunity meetings in the beginning, and she would get up and speak in front of people, even though it probably wasn't her favorite thing or she wasn't super comfortable in doing it. And I watched her grow and grow and grow. And she went from someone that, would come into a meeting, like a business meeting, and not feel confident. not with the business part of it. She could talk about the product. She studied the product. She knew the ingredients of, what's in the Ionic Supreme, and she could ashwagandha you and blackstrap molasses you and all of that. But when it came to the business, she wasn't as confident. And so she would like slip in and sit in the back row and not contribute a ton. And I watched her grow and grow and grow. And when I say, like, this is like most improved player, MVP here, I'm not kidding you guys. She has become a beautiful leader to her team. And wouldn't you know, the leader showed up, and so the people are following her, and she has attracted a couple really great people into her organization. Her cycles have been steadily improving to the point where she is this close to retirement. So I know I gave most of her story away, but I've got several questions for her. So Valerie Gerber, can you unmute, please?
All right.
Where are you? There you are. Awesome. All right. So I know I told a lot of your story, but I want you to share with everybody, like, how were you able to, for 8 years, just never lose your hope, never feel like quitting or wavering, because your story is one of, not going to quit, to see the payoff and what's going on for you right now. Like I get choked up all the time. I get your text messages and I'm in tears, and I'm so thrilled for you to see all this success. So just share with everybody, what has this felt like for you?
Right. Well, thank you. Well, it's been wonderful. And I think, the reason I didn't give up, a couple of reasons, I didn't have any other choice. I was in a position in my life in my 50s where most people are getting ready for retirement. And through a bad business, through different things that had gone on in our lives, we were approaching retirement. We had nothing saved. And so the more I learned about the business and the more I learned about what network marketing had to offer, I knew that it was my only vehicle to get me where I wanted to be, during retirement. And so that's what kept me going the whole time.
And then share with everybody what shifts you had to have, because I think there's probably people on the call that need to have the mental shifts you've had, and they're big. And it didn't happen overnight, but bit by bit, your belief changed in yourself. I think, and maybe speak to that. I know you always believe in the products and the company, and you believe in network marketing. Was your belief in you in network marketing not a 10 out of 10? Or, share with everybody what that journey looked like.
Well, when we talk about needing to be 10 in all those different areas, my 10 in Isagenix has been a 10 from the very beginning. I have never wavered or thought that the company was anything less than like stellar. And network marketing, I did have to get there, but it came very quickly. I mean, if you are all in, it doesn't take you very long to learn that this business model like wipes out everything else. And so that came very quickly. But yeah, the belief in myself, it took a long, long time. And there were ups and downs. And I think, I never looked at myself as a leader. I always looked at myself as someone that I would be in the shadows. And if I was going to get to anywhere, it would have to be like, on your coattails. And I would always wait for direction from you, because I didn't want to take the wrong step. And I think my belief grew in myself, but it really didn't, it can keep growing, but I think you definitely have to have a shift. And last year I just had a shift, and it was like, all of a sudden I realized I'm enough. I don't have to be 20. I don't have to be 30. I don't have to be 40. I don't have to be, perfect. I don't have to know everything. And I certainly don't have to wait for you to tell me what to do. And once I made that shift and I realized that, then I took ownership of everything. I took ownership of making me better. I coached with PK, which, I can't recommend that enough. That is so instrumental in what's happening now. Was just, he just has a way of asking you questions so you can dig deeper and you learn from within. And that's what you have to do. You can't have someone constantly telling you. They have to spark that, whatever it is, to get you to understand for yourself. So that was a huge shift. And once I did that, it's not just about growing. It's making that shift. And then what do I do next? What do I do next? And I did that in every aspect of my life, right down to my business. And so instead of waiting for you to tell me what to do, and I'm not saying that with any disrespect, I mean, obviously you're the greatest mentor to me, but I need to take ownership of my business to move forward. And that's what I've done. And now I've been able to empower others to do the same. And it's all about that duplication.
And you guys, I hope you get this, because I know there's people on this call that need to hear this message tonight. And like, watching this transformation that Val has gone through has been unbelievable. And for those of you that have witnessed it, I mean, let her know in the chat. I mean, some of you have watched her grow, and it's just been so amazing. I was talking to Susan Wheeler today, and she was like, I am so happy for Val and what she's experiencing right now. And she's just a true testament to never giving up, never quitting, but then making that decision to step into leadership and to make the changes in herself that were necessary. And I've always said that you need to be the leader that you want to attract. And so many of us, I mean, I have people, you guys, that are executives that don't view themselves as leaders. And to me, if you're an executive, you've enrolled a lot of people. You've really learned the compensation plan. You've learned how to create consultants on your team. So at some point, you have to make the decision that you're a leader, and that you are enough, and that you can attract great, amazing people into your business. So Val, share with everybody, you know, you made this decision, you started making the changes, and then, like the field of dreams, build it and they will come. I mean, share what that's been like.
Yeah. Well, it's always, you know, I don't think that it's ever been about ego, you know, like you said with me, but I never really, you know, felt like that I had, like I possessed it, you know, and I never was jealous as I watched people pass me, but I just kept thinking, someday I will, someday I will. And all of a sudden, like I said, when I had that shift, it like something just clicked inside of me. And I don't know, like I just was able to share. I was able to like reach out to people with not really any expectations, I guess is the best way to put it. And once I did that, they really did come. And I mean, they were there all along. I just probably didn't see it. So it's just been really great. And it's not just me. Like I have a lot of, you know, people right there with me that are working hard, you know, along with me. So the growth is all of us together.
And don't you think, though, that you're stepping into leadership and what you've attracted? You know, guys, we're going to officially celebrate something big, and Val, I'm going to let you shout that out. It'll be official very soon. We just need confirmation from corporate. But what just happened last night, I mean, how awesome is that? And go ahead and share.
Yeah. Okay. So huge shout out to Jackie Proctor, who is on here. She reached a great level last night. So she hit 2-star. Golden Circle, and she has worked so tirelessly to not only get to 2-star, but to get back to paid as executive and stay there. And she is like relentless in the best form of relentless. I mean, not in a negative at all. She's just like, she does whatever it takes. And last night, it was really late and we weren't sure if she was going to make it or not. And she's like, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? I'm like, you have done every single thing that you can do. So what you're going to do is lay your head down on the pillow tonight. And whatever happens when you wake up in the morning is where you're supposed to be, because you have done everything. Like she laid it all out. And she did it. I'm, you know, 99.9% sure that she did it. And I see that all around me. And because she's so intentional, like it's beautiful to see then the leadership in her and what she is passing on to her people. It's just great. It's like this beautiful trickle effect if you just stay in action.
Yeah. And she's another story of not quitting, you guys. She's had those wall kicking moments too. We'll bring her on a call as well. I think she's on here tonight with us. And Jackie, we're just so proud of you for staying the course. And, you know, let's do this, Val. Like, what would be your advice to maybe, let's first speak to the people who have been at this for a while and maybe feeling discouraged. What would be your advice to them first?
Even when you don't feel like putting those minutes or hours, whatever you have each day into the business, you have to do it. You just have to. There are days where if you're working and you don't have a lot of time, you don't feel like doing it, but you absolutely have to treat it like a real business. And I always have, no matter what. So.
Yeah. And you guys, she has times where she gets home from work at 11:30 at night after being gone all day long. She's the epitome of hashtag no excuses. She still manages to get her work done and just has such a great attitude around it. So, that never quitting philosophy, it's just not an option. And that's, I think, what you said that is so key. If we view this as there's no plan B, this is plan A, plan B, plan C, for whatever your goals are, you guys, then for sure you'll have a better shot at reaching it. So how about to the newer people that are, fresh out of the gates? And we know there's going to be some setbacks and some disappointments along the way, but, what can you say to encourage those new people on their journey?
Well, I just said it today to a couple people, actually, and it's go back to not only why you started this, but go back to those texts and those messages that you've received and look at the lives that you're already changing. And so, and the other thing that I said today too is you don't need everyone, because not everybody wants us. So you look for the people that do. And when you look at the statistics, I mean, you hear all the time that it's a numbers game. But not only is it a numbers game as far as the more you talk to, then, the more chances you'll have of getting enrollments, but it's also a numbers game as you are going to lose people, and you have to let those people go. And you have to never give up on them, knowing that they may come back, but you can't get discouraged when you lose those people that you just thought were going to grow with you and run with you, because not everybody is going to. And even those people that say that they want it, there's going to still be some that don't, and you have to let them go. But I mean, don't give up on them, just keep encouraging them, but it's going to happen. So.
Absolutely. All right. Last question before I do some last announcements and end the call. How has what you've just gone through in this transformation this last year, how has this changed everything for you?
Oh, well, I'm gonna get emotional. There isn't anything that hasn't changed. It's made me a better person. It's made me a better friend. It's made me a better mom. It's made me a better manager at work. It's made me a better grandma. I mean, you name it, it's made me better. But also it has blessed us financially, which means so much to me after everything that we've been through. And Cindy knows, this year, along with my vision board, I made a financial board, and I don't even know what you're calling them, but like, I color out, and what are they called? Like little thermometers.
Yeah.
And so every single debt that I had, like I was able to pay extra on every month, like a lot of extra. And so I have not only my vision board, but I have this beautiful board now with all these red thermometers that are going up, 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 up. And like when I look at that every day, like when I told you in the beginning, like we were heading towards retirement with like nothing, like not even for 401ks left. And now we're able to start saving and pay off debt. Like it's undescribable. So it's changed everything.
And guys, Val, thank you. Thank you. I couldn't be happier. Number one fan right here. I knew I'd get emotional. I'm so proud of you and what you're doing, and, and how you're really helping so many other people now. And that's why you have these qualities of empowering other people. That invitational yoga concept, you invite people and you have no ego around it, and you really stepped up your leadership and you've empowered, and you're just doing such a beautiful job. I am so proud of you, and it's been an honor to watch what's happening to you.
Thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome. All right. I hope you guys blow up the chat for her. She deserves it. It's just you. And if you guys would have lived through where she was when she started this, you'd all be crying. Every single one of you on this call would be crying. I'm not kidding. So this is the power you have, guys. You have the power to change lives. There's lots of people just like Val out there that need your invitation. They need you to invite them to take a look at Isagenix. And wouldn't you love to have a Val on your team? Wouldn't you love it, you guys? I mean, she is going to be cycling enough to leave a full-time job. This is going to be her family's full-time income. She will be retiring with Isagenix and then handing this beautiful business down to her children and grandchildren. Wouldn't you love to have one of these people, these amazing gifts on your team? They're out there and they're waiting for you to ask them to take a look. So I hope this was motivating and inspiring for you guys tonight. Val's story is so, what's the word I want? It's so relatable. Relatable is the word I want. And, you know, I think so many people can hear that story and see themselves in it. So I hope it touched at least one of you guys tonight. So look for more announcements in Team Synergy once we get some calls scheduled. I'll put them in there so you can invite people to them. If you need anything, reach out. Love you guys. Thank you so much for getting